And a good Wednesday night to you. At least it's Wednesday evening here on the East Coast. And I hope it's a good evening, good day, good afternoon, wherever you're at. Whether you're down the street, around the corner, across America, or somewhere around this great big world, thank you for taking the time to tune in with us tonight. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Accolla, our friend. You are not going to ever meet any nicer person than this man right here. I call him the music man, the ambassador of Goodwill, and a fighter for rights. And I am proud to have him as a friend.
Well, that's very cool. What a nice introduction, George. Too kind.
You don't remember? You paid me $20. No, I'm only kidding. I mean it. I mean every word of it. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, yeah, likewise, I've admired your shows and it was great. You know, you reached out to me and now we got a friendship and I'm back on. So it's good to be with you.
There you go. We're live streaming into Facebook. We're live streaming into YouTube. We're live streaming into Twitch TV. And we're live streaming into the Espen blog. So we're live streaming out there as far as we can go out. Now, what we want you to do is share, near, far, and wide. Reach out to people on those devices, however you reach out to them, and tell them we're on the air. And Peter Accolla is with us tonight, and we have multiple. That's not right. We have a whole lot of things to cover. How's that? I'll break it down. I'll put it on my bottom shelf where I can reach that. But anyhow, and there's my buddy. He was feeling a little ill lately, but it's good to see him back and Kipper again. Love you, brother. Good evening, Ed.
George, I appreciate you promoting me.
And I see that he has America's #1 sidekick. He just won't stop. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's going to be up there on that thing from time to time. As soon as I saw it tonight, I thought, oh, Ed's feeling much better. I can tell. We had Peter on. When was it, Peter? Back in March, April, somewhere.
Yeah, it's April. Around Easter, I remember, right? Maybe so. Right around, mid-April sometime.
And a lot of water went under the bridge. Some bridges went underwater. And here we are tonight, and we're delighted to have him. There's some subjects that we want to cover, and then we'll play some clips as we move along here tonight. But Peter, you're in Massachusetts. I'm in Delaware. Ed's in Ohio. And then you were saying when we were off the air, New Hampshire is a whole different world as compared to where you're at and where I'm at. I think Ed's opened up more than we are. We are still locked down. King Carney has us locked down. King Gray has you guys locked down up there. We just had a thing the other day that the lockdown has been extended and all that good stuff. So regardless, but nonetheless, you are the owner of, if I say it right, NuImage Entertainment.
NuImage.
NuImage. See, I knew I couldn't.
Come on, George.
I'm trying, Ed. I'm trying. I'm going to have to work on that. NuImage. Yeah. NuImage Entertainment. Tell us and the people that are new to our viewership here, tell us what you do, how you got started, and all those things.
So I've been in the business for the better part of 30 years now. Out of high school, I got interested in music and in particular DJing from a friend. I got introduced to a friend who was working in a nightclub, and ended up going to meet this guy and then chatting with him, you know, was very intrigued that he did this for a job, a business, a living, so to speak. But when I was talking to him, he said, really, more money is made in the private event industry, i.e. weddings and birthdays and anniversaries and whatnot. So I was like, wow, I'd like to learn more about this. I'm 16, 17 years old at the time. And next thing you know, I started going with him and learning the business and fell in love with people and events from a young age. And like I said, it's been 30 years now, and I've been doing it professionally. I own an entertainment company. We service over 300 to 400 weddings a year with a variety of DJs, photographers, videographers, lighting, a lot of entertainment aspects of the wedding. And then the other side is corporate events, where we do large scale conferences. And as you know, all those things have come to an end. So, you know, 30 years of doing this, we've been through so many recessions. And I always said, you know, I picked a recession proof business, being in the wedding industry, that people always are going to get married. And there's a reason to celebrate. So, it truly has been amazing throughout my career in terms of, you know, no significant dips in business, and it significantly has grown to the point where I was able to, you know, make a living doing it, support my 3 kids, support my family, and doing something I absolutely love to do. It's the American dream, right?
Right.
Buy your own business. You know, I went to college for a short time. It wasn't for me. I was a people person. I wanted to be in the entertainment field. I took a love for music, and I grew this business to a point where, you know, I have 7 or 8 DJs, a few photographers, video people, lighting people, and, you know, I can GC a huge job and scale it up if I need to. And so I was at the height of my game when this happened in March, and it's come to a screeching halt. And it's just, you know, I talked to some of the best in the industry. Boston and New England in the wedding and corporate business has been booming prior to this, and the stories are endless. It's heartbreaking. I could, you know, go on forever to tell you them, but you don't need to bore you with that. So here we are. I try to stay as positive as humanly possible. As you met me or saw me online doing a thing, and you'll probably get into that. I'll with people, trying to lift people's spirits during the time. But you know, I would be a fool if I didn't say it's getting old. And you know, we're spinning our wheels here, saying, just give us a little light. You know, tell me. And if you're not going to allow us to work, compensate us, because, you know, people, we're not getting help in other aspects of things. That bills need to be paid and so forth. So it's been challenging.
Ed,
Oh,
you got your mic muted, Ed.
What a fool. No wonder why I'm just a sidekick. So, but anyways, Peter, what, you know, obviously you live in Massachusetts, right? And so are there, you know, for different parts of the country are probably not as afraid of the virus as the Massachusetts is. What do you think about, you know, maybe advertising there and heading that direction, at least for business wise, not necessarily to move, but maybe even move that direction too. But I mean, what do you think about that?
New Hampshire is one, being in New England, and that's just what's so crazy to me, that a 15 to 20-minute drive up the road, the rules are completely different. And the governor, who I've listened to on the radio because it comes on the local sports radio station here, talking about how they could possibly host the Patriots, because our governor won't even let the Patriots try to get people in stands and whatnot. And they just put, you know, 20,000 people in for NASCAR in New Hampshire with no problems a couple of weeks ago, all very safely done and whatnot. So a whole different set of rules at 15 minutes up the road. So to your point, I'm definitely just sat down with my marketing person this morning about targeting New Hampshire, and, you know, because more is happening up there, more is allowed. But I think we're reaching a boiling point here too, and, you know, beyond the wedding business, and where we're at, just so you know, with private events right now, no more than 25 people indoors. So, if a place holds 1,000 people, it still can only be 25 people, which is ludicrous. And 50 people outdoors, but, and no dancing, no dance floor. We have music. So yeah, no dance floor. Yeah. Right. I mean, so you can imagine a small percentage of brides that still want to go forward with that kind of restriction. And it's so, we have a couple here and there, but it's getting tough, and it's tough for the venue owners. It's tough for the bars. No bars are allowed in our area, so no bars are open, of course. I think that's pretty much everywhere. But so event-wise, nothing's happening. But so New Hampshire, different. 50% capacity indoors. So if your place holds 400 people, you can have a wedding with 200 people.
Right.
Dance floor, okay. Bars, okay. Mask, social distancing, do the right thing, police yourself, let the professionals manage it. And it's been a good month, and it's been pretty good. So,
starting to pick up, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You just having to go to New Hampshire instead.
Correct.
So Massachusetts is, I'm sure you're not the only business that's headed that direction. And I'm sure Massachusetts is going to suffer when they try to collect those revenues. Oh, but wait a minute, they'll hope to get bailed out. So
yeah.
So it doesn't technically cost them. It's just going to cost us for the next 50 years to repay this, but or maybe forever. You were talking about in the pre-show, you were talking a little about a mandate, a flu mandate. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, and forgive me because I don't know the exact details of it, but it was. Let me see if I can do a quick search without. Am I still on camera?
Yep. We got you in the middle because George kind of throws people off a little bit.
So there was a big protest 2 days ago. What was Sunday? That in Boston at the State House. Hundreds of people. And let's see, the mandate says all students that want to return to in-person learning in the classroom. This is a vaccine requirement. Let's see if I can find.
We're not talking about for COVID. We're talking about just the flu.
Correct.
So imagine if they come up with a vaccine for COVID. You understand? So this is Massachusetts mandating a flu vaccine, which, by the way, the research says that you're more likely to get COVID if you take the flu vaccine. So they're making it more likely to get COVID, and shutting down society, making them take something that's going to make them more likely to get it, almost as if they're doing this on purpose. And so you can see where this is going to go across the country. They're going to try to mandate the virus, so you can't go back to school unless you take the vaccine.
Exactly.
And what a spooky thing we're talking about here, folks. This is craziness. It's kind of like the CDC just updated their numbers, said 1/6 as many people actually died of corona, and now they do the data and don't even count the masks in it because they know the masks don't have any effect on it. In particular, since the masks aren't regulated, and the virus goes right through the mask, so the mask has no purpose besides to make people feel warm and fuzzy, I guess. George, you have a video clip?
I do. I got some questions here from some of the folks.
All right.
Let me find it here. Deborah Musselman out of Florida. Have you reached out to local candidates in their campaigns?
Yes, we have. So just today, we talked about this. There's one tricky thing with our group and the event organization is not a union, a real union, which is in these times, needed to go and lobby and get in front of boards and reopen boards. So we've done some stuff as the industry, just rallying together, an emergency basis, and made enough noise to get in front of the reopen board, which is what's been put in place in Massachusetts. And, word came back that, the governor, it's all, there's a lot of doctors and it's all medical based, and they don't care. We're going by the numbers and we want to keep people safe. And so, a little bit of hope today with this lawsuit that I didn't even know it was in existence. I guess a local guy from our 10 minutes down the road from me, Peabody, Massachusetts, is bringing a lawsuit against the governor for this exact reason. He owns an HVAC company. It's pretty much had to file bankruptcy, and he's just fighting for everybody. And he made a website, Facebook page, and I think 7,000 followers within 7 days. And today, the big news was with him that the state did everything possible to try to dismiss this case and battle this guy, and it was heard in the federal court today, and the judge apparently sided with the man, saying that he had there's some definitely rights violated, and they want to hear the case, and I due to be heard in October 5th. So we're hoping. And last night I was part. I don't know if you saw. There was a national movement. WeMakeEvents.org on a larger scale. These are the people that do set up lights and sound for major recording artists, famous people. So Barry Manilow did a video yesterday. Stone Temple Pilots, like all famous musicians, and everybody lit up stadiums red. You might even saw it, like they in Nashville. I forget the name of that center, but it was lit up in red. Yeah, there you go. That was so. We went up and did some local venues, but it was a big national movement, and all to put a bill to Congress, what we call the Restart. I believe they call it the Restart Act, to help. Again, if you're going to keep us shut down for a longer period of time here, to at least compensate us. So, that will take some pressure off us if you're not going to let it. If we can't, we're getting every way try to get creative to work and in a safe environment. But if you're not going to allow us to do that, at least try to compensate us. So, I mean, I live this business. I'm in every organization. I've been on every chat group, and I'm up to date to being involved as much as I possibly can.
George Deborah's got a nice comment. I think Peter would love to see.
So, yeah, I bet. South Florida sounds nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Deborah's got a husband that's planning on being a representative real soon.
Yes.
I was got one more hurdle.
Yep. The 20th district. So, there went my one-half brain cell. It just dimmed out. And man, I had a good one too. It was right on the tip of my tongue. But anyhow, with all this stuff, with this thing, that's what I call it, this thing, the damage, not only economically, but emotionally, physically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just when this thing when this thing is done, or when these shenanigans come to an end.
That's a good way to put it.
Somebody needs prosecuted.
Yeah.
And not only thrown in the jail,
Yeah.
thrown under the jail. I mean, there literally thousands and millions of people are being affected by this thing.
So true.
And and you see it as you're out and about in your neighborhood and in your town and throughout the state, and it's just devastating. My heart just aches for people that work so many years on their business, and now all of a sudden they're having to put the close sign, going out of business.
Sad. That's exactly it. You got my heart. I mean, I'm, fortunate that I'm in a business that, God willing, and we get a vaccine or something changes, and next year's lined up to be good because these people are still planning on getting married, so they're shifting. But to your point, many businesses are not going to survive this, and I see it everywhere we turn. And every time I talk to someone, I'm like, oh, I didn't even think of that affecting you this way. no, it's coming to the top of my head right now, but it's happened 2 or 3 times in the last couple of weeks where I'm talking to someone and their business is closing or shutting, and it's like a trickle down effect. So it's devastating. Some of the big venues and nightclubs in Boston I had relationships with, some of the best, just doors shut, and staples in our city, bars that have been around for years are starting to close. It's pretty heartbreaking to see. And again, the other thing that irks a lot of us is the favoritism. I don't want to say favoritism, but unfairness of how a restaurant can operate, by these rules, but, or Home Depot or a supermarket, but, not a wedding because it's a celebratory event, a fun event of some sort, in a safe way. So it's really, really hard, really frustrating I have a lot of friends that own venues and wedding venues and country club people that, I have relationships that I made over the years that are just, scratching their heads. And it was only so inventive. With the summer, it was at least outdoor seating helped, but that's coming to a close now. So if they don't do something in the next couple of days with letting restaurants operate to a higher capacity, it's going to be bad news for Massachusetts restaurants in the next couple of weeks. And again, up New Hampshire, 100% capacity indoors, no problem. 15 minutes up the road.
Peter, my question from the beginning of this thing is, and I just asked my wife today again, the big box stores, the grocery stores, those ones that are open. I would think that with this thing, as they blow up their narrative from day one until where we're at today, my question is, why haven't people fallen over dead in the aisles at Walmart, Home Depot, grocery stores?
Yeah.
The way they talk and the way they've talked, people should be falling over on the sidewalks and in the stores. I'm not seeing that. But if you go to church, you're going to get this thing. It's just
That's exactly right.
It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous.
100%. You've not heard. You hear the outbreaks because there's an outbreak from a wedding in Maine or a party somewhere. You hear about those outbreaks. You don't ever hear about an outbreak at Home Depot or whatever supermarket or ever, right? So.
Right. And if you disaggregate the data, if you were to break it down from right now, the CDC's newest numbers, the 1/6. So in other words, you take this, now they're saying there's been 11,000 deaths in America, in a humongous country. You have 320 plus million people here and a whopping less than 11,000 deaths. And then you start breaking it down even more to, that the majority of these deaths are from nursing home situations, overcrowded, sending them back. And obviously lately, they've gotten to the point now where even the elderly are getting it and fighting right through it. So I'm not saying that it's not a serious thing, because I've done enough research to know what's in it. But it certainly is not something we should be shutting down society. Otherwise, the next time the flu's out, we're going to be shutting everything down, or next time a common cold's out or anything else. So we've gotten ridiculous on this. And clearly, there's no question about it. It has been politicized. The WHO, the CDC, you can't trust them at all. And of course, I was warned this by the guy that wrote the Bioterrorism Act. He said you can't trust either one of them. They're both in the tank. They're both bought and paid for by various organizations that are pushing the data. They're getting their information for people that have an interest in the patent and things like that. So there's just a lot of collusion, a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes, and the whole virus itself. It's literally man-made. I mean, they took a virus. They increased its potency, which right away, illegal, violates the Bioterrorism Act. And then it got loose. And of course, we're blaming it on China, and China probably is the one that leaked it. But, there's a bunch of countries that are involved in spinning this whole thing. And that's where the media should be. But apparently the only thing they want to talk about is who to blame it on. And of course, that's where we get the politicization for it.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see that the Democrat states are shutting everything down, and the Republican states are opening everything up. And then, of course, there's some wishy-washy Republicans like the Ohio governor that kind of, hedges his bets a little bit.
He's a Republican governor.
Yeah, he's Republican. You mean yours is too, the Massachusetts one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably an in name only also, kind of like the senator out of that. Isn't it the senator? What's the senator out of Massachusetts that's a Republican? Isn't that at Massachusetts that's a
Democrat?
she's
Warren. No. I mean, I'm sorry. I forget her name now.
yes, and she's she spoke in the hearing, with Kavanaugh and so on, but she's really a Democrat, but in that state a Republican is basically a moderate Democrat.
Right.
So kind of like Romney.
Yeah.
What about what about the plans for the Patriots? What's on the burner about those guys?
They're one home field advantage.
Yeah, they're their parents. So I'm a season ticket holder. Odd enough.
Oh boy.
I've been lucky to watch them for the past 20 years. So
You get your money back this year?
so what they've done is they've held it to next year, not knowing if they were going to get approval to have any games or any people in the home.
Mm-hmm.
And the governor of the reopened board told them no, definitely none in September. So there was 2 home games slated for September that are not happening. So now it stands that it's not looking good, and that's why the governor was on the sports radio because the local sports radio station here, there's a lot of talk about the stuff, obviously. So he's a fan of the New Hampshire governor, so he'll have him on. And he was touting that he was going to call Kraft and offer to open up the speedway or something, because they just did NASCAR safely, so they could easily put 15,000 people in stands and have no issues. They'd gladly welcome the Patriots up there.
Right.
So who knows? But so that's where it stands. I don't think it's happening, and definitely in the next month or two. Doesn't look good unless something changes.
Let's go to a lighter side. See if I can make this thing work. Let me get this here. Let me bring this up.
What's happening, everybody? It is Memorial Day, and we're with you live from North Reading, Massachusetts. It's going to be quite the day. In about 30 minutes, we're hitting the streets, and as promised, some more surprises for you today. Yeah. Ice cream. Free ice cream. Dylan and Pete's ice cream truck will be on board tonight, so kids, get out front. We're handing out ice creams to everybody who's out in their front lawn today. Make sure the mailboxes are decorated today. We're at the Conti household to start. Right over on Little Meadow Way. We're going to head down to Kings Row and work our way through the neighborhood. We got the drone in flight. The trucks are decorated. My man Matty Quinlan. Russell Smith doing the video today. Gabby Benoit. And who's this? Oh, Mr. Todd Angeli from the Boston Bruins is in the building with us today. Folks, you don't want to miss this. Get outside. Let's go. As we celebrate our heroes and the men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice for us.
This land is mine, from California to your God.
We're getting ready. We'll see you soon. 30 minutes.
the sun keeps
Who's that guy?
I'm telling you what, ladies and gentlemen, if if this is your first time meeting Mr. Peter Accolla, Peter does these things, did those things. Let me tell you a little story. One Sunday afternoon, I was sitting here at the computer. I guess it was back in March or somewhere around there. Not long after this thing shut everything down. I was sitting here one Sunday afternoon. I got this message from a friend in Arkansas, and he wrote, "George, you've got to check this out." And he put the link up there. I said, "Okay." So I went on the computer. I was already on the computer. I went to that link, and Peter was having one of those first neighborhood music thingies. And man, I ran downstairs and I told Mom, I said, go to this place. And we sat there at the kitchen table and we watched. And it was so uplifting amongst all the doom and the gloom and the chaos and the confusion. It was so uplifting. And just to watch people's faces as they come out into their yards, their driveways, on the street, as Peter was playing the music and they were going down the street and he had a whole entourage with him, people waving and dancing and the whole 9 yards. And I thought, wow, this is what it's all about. And I've just admired Peter ever since, because he's not only done that, he did that several times, several weeks, and all this good stuff. And then he had Saturday night. He would come on Facebook and he would play music, and either he'd be behind the mic or another fellow would be behind the mic, and Facebook would shut him down. He'd come back on. Facebook shut him down. He'd come back on, and people all across the nation was watching the videos, the Saturday night thingies that Peter and the boys would put together. And then he went to hospitals. He promotes law enforcement and standing behind law enforcement. But Peter, I'll let you talk about all that and all the things that you've done thus far, because you can explain it a whole lot better than I can.
Thank you. Yeah, I did. It's been, part of it's been helping me get through this, because my life, my 30 years have been at events with people in interaction every weekend. I'm used to a party, a celebration. And then that was just taken away from me. So not only was the money taken away from me, but my way of life was, not allowing me to network and be with people. And that's what I've just, so being able to do those things in the street and get involved in my community more, and, certainly things that I feel strongly about. We'll talk about the police in a second. But things like that, I started doing for two reasons. One, because I feel like I have a lot of followers and people respect me and what I stand for. And, when I feel strongly about something, I want to voice that. And I feel like, most people that know who I am know that I'm, it's my mantra. There's a company, can I give a shameless plug, George?
Go ahead.
BeGoodToPeople.com. This woman's from Colorado. She's a super amazing woman. And I met her just through Facebook, and her story is awesome, but she has a company called out of Denver. She had a place in Denver airport that was doing well prior to COVID, but she blew up, and was on just a great family from Denver, and the mom started the business. But people that know me know that I'm a good person. So when I do feel strongly about something, I try to state my case on it, why I feel that way. Then I also feel like, I used to worry about, will it affect my business, because I own a very reputable and significant business. But I also started to feel like I want to do business with people that at least line up mostly how I line up, because it's going to be easier, more satisfying, a better experience for everybody. And if you are that far, think that far differently than I do, maybe we're not a good match to do business together. So I started feeling more that I could be, vocal enough about the things that were very close to me. I try to stay and you know, because you've been following me, not too political, but again, more general on just what's right and what's wrong. And I believe there's a lot of good people out there, and they're on both sides, right? And it's like, I think that the narrative here is trying to divide us on purpose. So I feel like, there's ways to work and find common ground. But so going to law enforcement, I have so many friends that I've worked for over the years, that I graduated high school with, family members that are in law enforcement. 100%, we all agree what happened to George Floyd was awful. We also agree that there are bad apples and cops in society, just like there are bad plumbers, electricians, whatever. This is just how it is, right? So,
right. No question.
100% perfect. So, and I believe there should be reform. But what's been going on with police officers is just disgusting, heart-wrenching, and for my people that I know and talk to, and what their families are going through and their kids are going through, is just, I couldn't stay quiet anymore.
Right.
That's who I wanted to speak up for. Police officers, men and women, they're out there, doing what I could never do, and trying to keep us safe and keep peace in our streets, and so a couple of women in my town called me, knew that I was passionate about this cause, said, "You want to do something?" I said, "I'll do it. Let's do it." They got, to their credit, they helped me organize it, and we together, 4 of us, did a really nice event in town, and and that was a few weeks ago, and it was great. We had a lot of positive feedback from the community, and those signs that you just had there. There's another great story. If you ever want to have her on, George, her name's Olivia Windsor. I can get your contact information, but she's a local girl from the next town over that her fiance or boyfriend is a police officer, and his dad was feeling bad for his son and made this sign as a support thing. And the girlfriend said, "You know what? I want to make more." To date, I think they're up to 10,000 signs. They have a GoFundMe page. It's reaching all over the country. So another great story there from a local girl with that.
If you would please give her our contact information or my information, whatever, whichever direction.
Yeah, for sure.
But I found a picture, Peter, and this just made me chuckle. It just made my heart feel all warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? That's what this man is all about. Amongst his concerns, he reaches out to people and just makes people feel better. Just makes people feel better. And I come across that picture, Peter. I said, man, I've got to put this up there for everybody to see, because a picture's worth 1,000 words. Right there it is. That's the meaning of a picture's worth 1,000 words. I think that's priceless right there.
No question about it. And that's exactly it. And, beyond all the messages I receive from all over the country, those moments, and for me to have those interactions are what I'm starving for. And I used to get that at weddings every weekend, which I didn't get anymore. So when I took it to the streets, I was able to get people out of houses, and music is a wonderful thing. And, my personality comes through with that. It's natural for me. I love people. I like to make people smile. And, with the help of music, I've been blessed that, this is the ironic thing, because I've been blessed to do something I love for a living and make a living doing it. And someone just has told me I can't do that anymore. Well, temporarily. So it's hard.
Ed?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, it is definitely a great platform. I'm quite jealous that you're able to, have this kind of impact on people, and obviously and thoroughly enjoy what you're doing, and clearly that the fact that you've been thwarted, it has definitely probably taken its toll, because you know how many people's lives you have been able to inspire, and people like George is just one example of somebody that was that caught on. And George forgot to tell you, this was way back when I was not America's greatest sidekick. He had was telling me you got to check this this Peter guy out. He's on here and he's doing this music, and we're going to try to get him. I said, George, you're never going to get him on the show. Stop dreaming. And so that hurt George's feelings, and he wouldn't call me for a week. And then he got you on, and we made up. And so,
well, he sure can spin a yarn. Peter, here is something. Once I get off of this thing here, and get right there, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not only those things that I've said and more. This guy's a family guy, and that means so much, so much. Now, not too long. How long's it been, Peter? A couple of weeks now since you had the big sauce making episode?
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, yeah.
I'm going to show you a clip. I mean, and Peter, I've watched this thing, I don't know how many times. Because look, we did the same thing back in my neighborhood when I was a kid growing up, and I can smell it. And it was not unusual any time of the day, any week of the month, any month of the year, to walk through the neighborhood, and you'd smell sauce cooking, hot peppers cooking.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was just the usual thing.
Yeah.
I watched this, what you're going to see here in a minute. I watched this in my mouth just literally water, and I chuckled. It was such a delight. Now, if I can get this thing right again, I'm going to bring this up. About 3 minutes of this right here that I want to show, because this is Peter's dad. He is an awesome man. Him and his mom, they are awesome people, and you can tell just by what's going on. These people know how to work. They know how to get it done, and they enjoy what they are doing. And so I want you to watch this, because I think it'll just make you feel warm and fuzzy on the inside, just like it did me. As soon as I find this right up here, here it is. Oh, sorry, we're having trouble playing this video. Well, you're just going to have to get over that. And
try it again. That's weird.
That's a shame. Because that's the one I wanted to.
What if I can do it? Can you put my screen on?
Yes, you can share it.
Oh, there.
Okay, go ahead, Peter. You try it.
I think that was you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. There you go. Up.
Yep.
Now, try it.
Yeah, you have a share screen on yours too.
Okay.
Because this is awesome. I mean, this is just awesome.
You got to make sure you hit that audio deal there.
Yeah. Share audio. See if I can figure this out.
If you go up there, click that little box that says share audio, and then if you go up on top, it'll say something like blah blah, and then Chrome Chrome tab.
Okay.
If you
Yeah. Okay. And then hit StreamYard share. Got it.
there,
Okay. Can you?
okay, this is what we got. You yeah, you brought this up. Wrong one, Peter. Wrong one.
Oh.
Oh, we lost Peter. We lost Peter.
What'd you do to him, George?
He must have clicked out. He'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back with the video.
Yeah, he'll be back. But let's see if we can get this up here.
Okay.
All right. Share screen. All right. Chrome tab. Share this. Share that. Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with you?
I watched this thing. I'll bet at least twice. At least twice when before we went on the air.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I want to share screen. See if we can do this right. Hang with us, people. I want this. I want that. And now we want to share this. Okay. All right. Let me go back opposite. I got it figured out.
Okay.
I got it figured out. Honest, I do.
I'm with you, brother.
Nope, I don't got it figured out because they won't let me play it.
Yeah.
Shame on them. But it is such a delight. We lost Peter. I hope he's coming back. Peter, please report to the principal's office. Peter Accolla, please report to the principal's office. Ed got you in trouble again.
I guess.
But anyhow, I do not know why. Here he comes. We lost you.
I think I know how to do this. So I found the video, but let me see if should I try it one more time, or do you want to try it, or do you want to skip it?
We tried.
Yeah, I just tried it a couple times, and I just
share screen, and then the audio. You said Chrome tag, share audio, share, and then I hit the StreamYard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Not the StreamYard.
No, just share screen at the bottom.
You hit the across the top where it says, "Oh, we lost him again." But that's the beauty of doing live shows.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Okay.
Share screen, right? Share screen. That's right next to Leave Studio.
Yeah, I got that. Then share screen again.
Mm-hmm.
And then
when you click on Chrome tab, it should come up like it'll say StreamYard.
Yeah.
It'll have another thing like your video.
It only says StreamYard. That's it.
That's it. Okay. All right. So yeah, what you need there is the actual video of. So let me try this thing one more time. All right, Chrome tab, and then it says Peter Accolla Facebook. So I click on that, share video.
Mm-hmm. Make sure the audio button's clicked.
Okay. And no.
Crazy. Is there another one next to it that you can try just to see if it has something to do with that one?
Yeah. Let me
try the one with any one of those soft ones.
Okay. This is probably what I should have done in the first place. No, that won't work. Let me try. Okay. Let's do this one. Okay, now let me go back here. I'm going to share the screen. Chrome tab, Facebook, audio, and share.
Oh, we like it.
Add water, that moves
The skins go through 3 times.
My lovely sister smashing the tomatoes. Oh, fresh from the garden.
Woo, that looks good.
Mama Cole's pumping out the food today. Hey Ted, how we doing, brother? It's Sunday. It's Sauce Day 2020.
Got married in 96.
We got the jaws ready to go.
That's quite the operation.
Oh,
Viva Italia! Martin! Willis is a Spatafora, Marty. Come on. Hey. Gotta have the fresh basil. Gotta have the fresh basil. The homemade vino. We're on our 3rd bottle here. Operation Sauce 2020 live from Derry, New Hampshire.
There you go.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I apologize for not being able to bring the other one up. That was just as good. That was just as good. That was quite a family assembly line procedure you guys had going on there, Peter.
Yeah, it was. And that's been a fun thing. 15 plus years now. My family started that with my grandfather. It started with a couple of bushels to, I think we had 22 bushels of tomatoes. My father drives to Boston, to the produce market with this trailer and brings them home, and they got the burners. So, for the many years, I haven't been able to get over there because usually I'm working very busy this time of year with weddings and such. So, some good things about this that I'm able to see and take advantage of. And that was definitely one of them, spending the day with them and seeing the whole process from start to finish. Now I can do it on my own because I get it down. A lot of work though. Yeah, it's a team effort. Like you're sitting there, your arm gets, you're there for hours. So we're switching off, who's doing what, music's going, my mother's coming out with more food, everyone's eating and drinking. And so this year I invited a couple of friends over and they thought it was the best thing. And now more friends call me like, can we come next year?
So you're going to have another special event. And look, you're in the event business. You know what I'm saying? This is an event. That is man. That brings. I just love watching that. I just love it. I can smell it. I can smell it. Mom over there getting the basil ready, and Dad he's stirring up the tomatoes and lifting, and doing all those things. Wow, and there's a lot of hard work in that. That's sauce from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Made with love, as they say.
Wow.
There's a picture. I can't even show it. I posted a picture of my, my father, mother. She's stirring. Maybe she has the basil. He's stirring. She's giving him a kiss, and it's like the one picture says it all right there. So I've been blessed that my parents are still around, and they're up the road in the live free or die state. It's looking better every day.
But you know what? I believe that we're going to come out of this thing.
Yeah.
I still believe, and I told someone the other night on a show, I still believe that there are good people behind the scenes, openly and all around. The truth will prevail.
Yeah.
It might take some time to get it going, but the truth will prevail, and we're going to be the wiser after this thing goes down. Edward?
No, that's it's funny that made me hungry. I think I might have to go get some spaghetti going or something. But yeah, that was really cool because if you look nowadays, there's all these different cooking shows and so on, and so I was quite entertained as well as getting a good education. And I was just curious. So those jars, I'm sure they have to be boiled and then sealed immediately, and then you can keep them in the house for years.
Correct. Exactly. My mother said they pop, so they must. I left because the day started at 7 a.m. and I think I left at 8 p.m. and they were just jarring down a jam. I'm like, I gotta get home. I was there for all day. So, but yeah, they do. They sell, and so in fact, I just opened one 2 days ago from last year's batch.
Very good.
It was awesome, and it's very so. It's jarred with just olive oil and basil only, so it's very plain. It just and you add so you start. It's like a base. You start now to add. Saute some garlic and onions, and then toss that in and let it simmer, and then some seasoning, and it's the best.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got my mother. That's the one. I'm so fortunate. I've learned a lot how to cook from my mother. She's amazing.
Preserve food.
I'll say. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me pop this back up here again. Peter Accolla, owner of NuImage Entertainment. I call him the music man, ambassador of Goodwill, and a fighter for rights, and one of the nicest people that you ever meet in your entire life. And you can take that to the bank. Peter, thank you so much, brother.
My friend, thank you for having me again. Ed, good to see you again.
Likewise.
Pleasure.
You had a good time.
Onward and upward. Give your family our love. Tell them we ask about them.
Thank you.
Tell Mom and Dad they have a special place in my heart.
I will do that. Thank you, guys.
All right, old buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans and countrymen, thank you for lending your ears to us tonight. And I apologize for my little not being able to bring that one video up. But look up Peter Accolla on Facebook, and you'll see all them videos. He's got a place on there, Peter's videos, or like that. But look it up, and you'll see that. Now, do me a favor. Start those watch parties. Continue to push this thing out there. Because I believe it's uplifting and it'll make you feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. So, until next time, me, Ed, Peter, and the whole crazy bunch here behind me at the Funny Farm, Miss Gertrude Duflicky, and the whole gang, Thank you for tuning in. And so I trust that God will keep you right in the center of his hand. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Peace.